Hey guys, what's up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review where today we're taking a look at this brand new Marvel Legends animated series Spider-Man figure. Spider-Man the animated series is one of my favourite cartoons of all time. I grew up with that show and it really secured my love for Spider-Man. I mean, I had so many videos, I had the DVDs, I still watch it to this day on Disney Plus. One of the only reasons I still have Disney Plus, there's so many episodes and so much good Spidey content in that series. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend it. But I'm sure you've seen it. It is such a popular cartoon, and I am so buzzing that Hasbro have given us a figure from the show. Let me know what you guys think of Spider-Man the animated series down in the comment section below. Where does it rank in your list of Spidey cartoons? Let me know what you guys think of this figure. While you're down there, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and let's not wait any longer. I need to get this thing out the box. Let's take a closer look. And here we have Spider-Man in the retro packaging that we are used to at this point. We get Marvel Comics up the top, the Spider-Man animated series logo, and we can see Spidey there. Cool image of Spidey at the side, once again looking like himself from the animated show. Then we get the figure, we can see what accessories are included. He's looking awesome on card. Looking at the back, Spider-Man logo again, same image, product image, tutorial thing here. And then we get a wee write-up. Bitten by a radioactive spider, mild-mannered Peter Parker becomes the wall-crawling, web-swinging, amazing Spider-Man. And now I've just got the animated series theme song stuck in my head. I'm pretty sure that was Aerosmith that did that, or was it the guitarist of Aerosmith? It is absolutely iconic either way. Like, that show and that theme song, oh man, what an intro. And here is our animated series Spidey out of the packaging, and he comes with a couple of web accessories. I believe these are the same that we got with Japanese Spider-Man, and my opinion hasn't changed. These are just pretty weak. I mean, I guess it'd be alright if you got a bad guy and you could, put the web accessories on top of them and you'd get a couple cool pictures from it. I would much prefer web accessories that are going to pour out of his wrists, go around the peg in his wrists. Web swinging accessories, yeah, I don't know. These are pretty weak. I'm glad we get something though. And yeah, they do look pretty cool. I mean, it's a nice sculpt, cool paint. But I do wish we got some better web accessories overall. And then we get the interchangeable hands, and we get all the hands we want. We've got the clobbering time hands ported in, we get the wall crawling hands, which are looking nice, just same sculpt we've got before, but all the paint's looking good on them. Quick look at this one here, yeah, looks pretty good. And then we get the web whipping hands, so here is the left hand here. Once again, sculpt's looking good, paint's decent, you can see it is a wee bit broken up, but good for the most part. And then we get the right hand here. Yeah, all the hands we need, I'm happy with that. And then we get Spidey. In my first impressions, I do really like this figure. I think the head sculpt looks a bit better than I initially thought from photos. I love the red and blue they've used. But I just am not a fan of cell shading, and I knew I was going to say that going into this figure. I was kind of hoping getting it in hand, it was going to, sway me around to the cell shading a bit more. But nah, I'm just not a fan of cell shading in general. I've never seen a figure that, Hasbro's given us and thought, wow, the cell shading looks really good on that. Every time I see it, I kind of just wish it wasn't there. And this Spider-Man's no different, but that is a personal opinion, and I do know a lot of folk do like the cell shading. It's not surprising though that the majority of comments I see don't prefer the cell shading, and I do wish Hasbro just left the cell shading on this guy. Like, he didn't really need cell shading, but we've got it and it is what it is. The head sculpt though, as I kind of mentioned, I wasn't 100% sure about it at first. I do think it does have a pretty animated series look to it. I think it is fairly screen accurate. I don't know, there is just something a wee bit off about it that I don't like, but overall, I do think it's a good Spider-Man head sculpt, a bit different to anything we've gotten from Hasbro before, so it does have a bit of a more unique look to it. I do like how the lenses are sculpted. At first I thought they were just all painted on, but I do like how it's sculpted on there. And it looks good. Yeah, I think it's a decent Spidey head sculpt. Once again, I like how it is a bit different to what we've got before, and it does look fairly accurate to the show. We then get what is mostly the Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man body, and as I've mentioned on the channel before, I absolutely love that Amazing Fantasy 15 figure. It is definitely, at the moment, my favourite Spidey figure, my favourite Spidey Marvel Legends, and I'm so glad to see it getting reused. I'm more excited for the Amazing Friends 3-pack. Of course, that's not going to have the cell shading. It's going to have a similar head sculpt to this guy here. But I am glad to now get this Spider-Man. I mean, I will collect any Spider-Man that Hasbro's going to give us, and this is a very solid entry. Especially with the blue and red colours, I mean, that is just so stunning to look at. They've absolutely nailed the colours of this Spidey. But I know a lot of folk, similar to me, are just going to look out for something without the cell shading. The logo looks really nice. I do really like that. And the back logo looks good as well. We do seem to get... Is that meant to be cell shading? Is that a misprint? It looks like the web line's going right down. I'll check out some other pictures of the figure, but you can see that there, and I'm presuming that's going to be cell shading, and it's kind of one of the reasons I'm not a fan of the cell shading. It looks stupid to me. That just looks wrong. It looks incorrect, like it shouldn't be there, especially because there is a severe lack of cell shading on the back compared to the front, and we can see some more lines and things around the ab area. It is quite minimal. I mean, you can see the darker blue here. It just makes me wonder, like, what really is the point? It could just do without it. Get a darker blue on the inside of the arm here, and it is important to note this is pinless as well, so it does look really slick. Web lines are all pretty good on this guy. We'll get into the articulation later on. You can hear that there. Cell shading on the legs, as you can see. Once again, like just bits like here, how it does go onto the red, it just doesn't show up on the red as well as the blue, and I think it just looks odd. Nice solid web lines on the feet. Yeah, there we go. This looks awesome. I know I'm giving the cell shading a hard time. It is really cool. It is really unique. And I'm so happy to get an animated series Spidey to this level. Let's compare him to some of the other Hasbro Marvel Legends. So first off, I have to compare this guy to the Amazing Fantasy 15 Spidey, as that was the first appearance of this mould. And yeah, they both look very similar. Head sculpts are of course different. And I have also seen someone point out that the shoulders here are different. You can see that this is a lot more round compared to this bulkier, musclier shoulder. So that is one difference that was pointed out. I didn't notice that myself. Everything else seems to be the same, just different colours. And yeah, I love this sculpt. I cannot wait to pose this guy around a lot more. Once I do, I'll post plenty of pictures up on my Instagram. I'll leave the link to my Instagram in the description below. As of right now, I do think I prefer the Amazing Fantasy 15, and of course I have just got this guy out of box. That might change. I do prefer the look of the head sculpt. I do prefer the colours on this guy, but I do prefer a non-cell shaded Spidey, and the Amazing Friends 3-pack does look like the perfect combination of these two figures, and I think that is going to be my go-to Spidey. I've seen a lot of folks saying that this one here is going to be the go-to. Not for me. The cell shading it won't fit into the majority of my collection, but it's still a really fun piece. And then just to show off the complete difference in sculpt, we have the Renew Your Vows Spidey with the Ben Reilly retro head sculpt on. I do prefer that look. And yeah, you can see the sculpts are very different, similar to how he was extremely different to the Amazing Fantasy 15. I do prefer this sculpt here, and I do prefer this Spidey figure to the Renew Your Vows. I just don't know, I'm just not a massive fan of this figure, but still a really cool Spidey, and I can't wait to get that Daredevil on this body mold. That is going to rock. And talking about this Spider-Man being the main one in a collection, I did just want to compare him to some villains. These are all retro carded villains. We've got Sandman, Shocker and Lizard. And I do think this Spidey fits in nicely. I was scared that the cell shading would really make him stand out, but he does look fine and it is a really cool figure. I do think it works really well with these retro carded villains. I love the colours on all of these and it makes a really cool looking collection. So to run over the articulation, he does look to be on a disc hinge. You can get the head looking really far up, about that far down to the body, and it's not going to pivot, but you can move it left and right. You can get the arm moving about that far up. He does have a butterfly joint as well, not upper thigh, upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows there, and that's going to go about that far into the body. Get the wrist moving backwards and forwards and rotate that around. And I have just noticed there is more cell shading on the red. It is hard to kind of pick up straight away, but it is noticeable. Same articulation in this arm. You get this movement in the upper torso, which is great. Move that backwards, forwards, left and right, and then you get that ab crunch as well. Move that about that far forward, about that far back. Get the leg kicking really far forward, really far back, upper thigh cut as well. Double jointed knees, move it around at the calf area, get the foot moving backwards and forwards, and it will pivot. So the articulation is excellent on this thing, and I cannot wait to pose him around. And so there we have it for our new animated series Spider-Man from Marvel Legends, and this is a great figure. It is a cool figure. A lot of folk, including myself, absolutely love the animated series. They grew up on it, and to get a figure off that show is so cool. I've complained in the past how Hasbro never really give us any unique looks to Spider-Man the same way that Toy Biz did. I mean, Toy Biz were just churning them out left, right and centre. So many artist-specific looks, and finally Hasbro are giving us a few unique looking Spideys. So I'm really happy to get this. It's got everything you need, all your interchangeable hands, couple of meh web accessories, fantastic colours. Its biggest downfall though is the cell shading, and you're either going to love that or you're going to hate it. Personally, I just can't be bothered with it at all. I wish it wasn't there. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment sections below. While you're down there, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram in the description below, where hopefully I'll get a few photos of animated Spidey up on there very soon. Feel free to hop on over to the channel page as well and check out any of the other videos up on there. It would mean a lot. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video right here. And as always, I'll catch yous on the flip-flop later. Cheers.